Heidi ho, Heidi ho, Heidi ho. How are you guys today? I hope you're doing well, and I hope you've had a great week, and I hope you are having some fun in your journals, and I hope you're creating along, and you're just enjoying your day. Okay, so this is going to be, now remember I told you, this is what we made the last time, okay? We put our flip in. This was our envelope. Remember, we cut out the big window. So I did end up changing my little tuck down here. I put in one of these little envelopes. Remember I told you about? Well, that's not it. I just put in a little envelope down here, and I just covered the front of it. And then here's how the envelope goes. So I think I'm going to put a little closure of something down here. Probably a, what do you call it? I'll think of it. Velcro. A little Velcro closure down here. And then you can open it up, you know, and there'll be something tucked inside. So this is going to open this way. And there's going to be this pocket. Now, this big pocket has 3 pockets. It has one here, and one here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this pocket, but we're going to come back to this one. Okay, so we're going to make, now, remember I told you to make this big spread, you need 2 pages that are uninterrupted. They don't have to be in the middle like mine are. Just 2 pages that are uninterrupted. So to make this spread that we're making here, this interactive spread, you need a piece of paper that fits the height of your page, but it needs to be 11 3/4 or 11.5 to 12 inches long. Okay, so the height of your page that you want it, but 12 inches long. Okay, this is all that we're going to be doing on it. And don't get your panties in a twist. We're going to make it section by section. Okay? And it's really easy to do. It just looks like a lot. Okay? So let me show you. This is the page. And you need 2 of these. Okay? So you need 2 of these. All right? So I'll give you a minute. Go on. You can pause the video. You can go cut them if you're creating along with me. But you need 2 of these. All right. Now mine is going in this book. This is my idea book. And the reason it's going in my idea book was I didn't have a completed one in here. So I thought I'd go on and complete one. And we're going to put it behind this. So here's this pocket, and I'm going to show you how we did that. So it's going behind here. Here's this one, and here's the flap, and the other part's going over here. Okay. So here's my page. It's the height that I want it, and it's 12 inches long. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to fold it into thirds. You don't have to be persnickety and anything like that. You just want it into thirds. This size on my left, you don't want it to come right into this right here. You don't want it to come into the spine or the fold on your right. You want to give it a little bit of room so that your right side's a little bit wider. Your left side's going to be a little more narrow. And your center is going to be a little bit wider. And the reason being is this is where the bigger stuff is. This is where the small stuff is. Okay? So we're going to do the small stuff first. All right? That's the easiest. We're going to do the small stuff first. So the small stuff is over here. It's just layered pockets. We've done those many, many times. So we're going to create 3 pockets. And we're going to layer them on top of each other. Okay? So, depending on how much you've folded here, you can create 3 pockets. Now, just pull from your scraps. If you don't have scraps, you know, that are particularly making you smile for that day, then cut the piece of paper. You know, kind of settles that problem, doesn't it? So my piece over here on my left is, wait a minute, and I'm going to tell you the size of it here. It is almost 3 inches. This piece right here is almost 3 inches. So I'm going to cut one little piece. Nope, not one's too small. I usually like my little pockets. Here's, to be honest, here's how I measure for my pockets. I put it down where I want it. And I make sure that it's straight. And then I fold my paper. This is how I measure, because I hate measuring. Oops, that's not straight. And then I make sure that it's not going to get in my fold. Just like that. That's how I measure. That is how I measure. Right there. That is the Lori way of measuring. And then I bring it over to my paper cutter. Now keep your paper cutter handy, because we are going to be using it. We are going to be using it a lot. Okay, now we need 3 little pockets. You need 3 little pockets. Okay, make them any size you want, but you want to bring them up to about 2/3 the height of your page. Okay, so there's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. And I inked these slightly so that they stand out, not only against each other, but against the page. So I can show you the pockets. I just want to show you the pockets here. They're like that. And like that. There are the pockets. Okay. And then we can come back and decorate after we have the pockets in. So if I know that this is the total height that I want my pockets to be, this is my total height that I want on here. Okay, I don't want this any taller than that. I probably do want my paper straight though, don't I? How about we straighten up my paper? Okay, it is straight. Okay, so I'm going to cut my bottom piece. Yeah, that'll do for a small one. And there's medium, and this one's going to be large. Okay, so what I did after I cut them was I put them all together just like this, and I tapped it down. Get out your circle cutter and your paper rounder. Oops, I am so sorry. And I rounded all the edges at the same time, just like this, at the top. And then I also took my cutter and I went like that. So now I know that they all have the same round, equal, and they all have the punch is going to line up. And then when I'm not sitting flat in my chair, I'm scooting. And I know I'm going to have to ink these so I can make them stand out. So I'm just using Vintage Photo, and it's not heavy. I just want it to be a light, especially right here, because I want that to stand out. I don't have to go across the bottom or anything. I just want it to stand out, especially when they're layered. Okay. Now, this is the bottom one, so it does need to be because it's going to be on the bottom. And this is the medium one, so it's in the middle. Okay. But I don't have to do the bottom on it. Okay, so take your glue, and I'm just going to use this. This is my tacky glue. Now, I don't want, usually my stacked pockets I leave open. No, so you can go all the way down, but I don't want these open. And I am just going to spread these out. So I know I want this one about right here. And then I want this one. Okay, then I want my little one. Just like that. So here are my stacked pockets. And I'll come back and decorate here in a little bit. Okay, there's my stacked pockets. Now, on this side, there's a layered pocket and there's a belly band. Okay, so we're going to go on and create our layered belly band over here. Okay, so we're going to put our layered belly band over here. And again, choose whatever papers that you want to put over there. Let's see if my scrap fits. Okay, so this scrap fits. All right, it's a little bit too long, but I can trim it off. Now, if you'll notice on this belly band, this part of it is a true belly band. It goes all the way through, but this part is not. It's actually two different pockets. Let me show you. This top part is a pocket, or a belly band, I guess. And this is one. Okay, so I have my big belly band right here. Right here. And then I have two smaller ones that are right here. Okay. Now, you could even glue down the center of the back one if you wanted, but I'm going to show you how we're going to make those. And maybe we'll do that on the other one that we're doing. Okay, so you need two pieces. You need this piece right here. And I'll trim that off here in a minute. And then we need our second piece. So let's choose our second piece. I think for the second piece, I'm going to choose these little birds. Now, for your second piece, going down the middle, it needs to be thinner. So, it needs to be the same length, but it needs to be thinner. Okay, so let's get this. And let's cut a piece that's the same length. And I do remember that it needed trimmed. So I'm going to trim it all at the same time here. Okay. And now, I think I want to trim it off of, let's see here. Okay. Now I think think I want to trim this side first. And then I want to trim off of this side, so I'm not cutting off the bird's head. Let's make sure I've got this straight. Like that. Now, let's see if that's thin enough. Okay, that should work. All right, so we're going to put that there, and that one's going to go in the middle like that. So let's get our trash off of our table. Now, you're going to take your glue, and I think we're going to go across the bottom here. Now this is the back piece. We're going to go across the bottom here. And then right smack in the middle, we're going to go across the bottom. So that's going to give us 2 smaller belly bands. Just like we did on this one. We're going to do the same thing. Hey, we can do that. Oh, it doesn't look like I made that small enough, does it? Okay. So let's wipe that off and make that shorter. And then we'll glue that bottom piece again. Okay. Let's wipe this glue off of here. Now, let's try this again. Okay. Yeah, now I got it all over my table. Okay, right across there. Now we're going to do the same thing with this piece. And it's going to go just like that, except this piece is also too long. So let's trim this piece. And it does not look like it's straight. It's either not straight or it's just a pattern that's messing with my eyes. I'm not sure. Let's lay it down here and see. Ah, the top isn't straight. That's what's not straight. There we go. That's what isn't straight. So let's straighten that up. I knew something. And that little tiny piece is what was making me see crooked. All right. I don't need any help, do I? Okay. So we're going to do the same thing on this one as we did on the other one. We're going to put glue right through the middle, just like that. We're going to go across the bottom, and we're going to go across the top. Okay. And then you're going to line it up on your page right in the middle, just like that. Okay, so what that's going to give you then are smaller belly bands. So you're going to have one here, one here, one here, and one here. Instead of one great big one where things are flipping and flopping around, now you've got smaller ones. Okay, so now we need to do the little flip that goes there. It's a little flip pocket. It's a little layered flip pocket. It's right here. Okay. So all this is, it's a little pocket. Now this pocket is, it is a 3.5 inch pocket. So you need to cut a piece of paper that is 3.5 inches wide. And I think this is pretty much a square by 7 inches long. Let's see, 7 by 8 inches long. Okay, because you have to make your flip. So it's 3.5 inches wide by 8 inches long. Okay, so let me get mine cut. Let me get a hold of it here. Oh, I forgot to allow for my hinge. Now, if you just did what I just did and forgot to allow for your hinge, don't panic. So I'm going to show you how we're going to add it. So I forgot to allow for my hinge. And of course, I didn't cut my paper straight. So I forgot to allow in my measurements for my hinge. Okay, I have no hinge. So what I'm going to do is with my paper, I'm just going to cut a 2-inch strip. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it. I'm folding it in half lengthwise, just like this. Okay, just like that. This was about 2 inches, maybe. No, it's an inch. I'm sorry. It's a 1-inch strip, and I folded it in half. So I'm going to take it. Okay, here's my pocket. Before I do anything, because I'm going to have to do some glue in here, I'm going to round my corners. I want these corners rounded. Okay, so this pocket is going to sit right here. And I want it to flip that way. Oops, forgot these corners. Okay. Okay, so this back piece right here is going to wrap around this way. So I need to put my hinge on the inside like that. Okay, see what I did? I put a piece of my hinge that I just made on the inside of my folder. Okay, I didn't cut my paper long enough. I forgot my hinge. So I cut it out. I rounded my corners. And here's part of it that's going to wrap around my page. I put it inside. And now I'm going to glue it all down. So let me show you what that's going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to put glue here. And I'm going to put glue here. Don't put glue on the other side of it. We're not ready for that. Okay, so I'm going to slide this in here. Like that. And I'm going to, whoops, I just knocked it out of place. And I'm going to put glue around the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to close this up. Just like that. So now my paper continues right here. Okay. And I'm already rounded. So I'm going to take my paper punch. And I should have done this before I glued it, and I didn't think. And there. Okay. Now I'm going to ink that. So I'm just going to stick that right here. And this is just ink that's already on my pad. And I'm also going to ink around this. I'm just using Vintage Photo just to give me a little contrast on the paper. Okay, and over here, I just want some contrast on my paper. Okay. I'm going to ink a little bit in my corners. Just like that. That's all I'm doing, okay? Now this piece here, I'm only going to put glue here. I'm not putting it anyplace else right now. I'm only putting it here. That's it. Now I'm going to place it where I want it. And for me, I want it to be about that far down the page. And I'm just wrapping it around here. Okay. Now that's going to get covered when we cover this white piece. When these pieces get covered, that's going to get covered. Okay. So now this side's done. So we have our flip. We have our belly bands. We have our pockets. Okay, I need to wipe this off here. Okay, see, I told you this wasn't hard. Okay, the centerpiece. Let me show you the centerpiece here. Okay, so here's what we have done. We have this done. We have this done. We have this done. Now we're doing this. Okay. This piece. So this is really simple. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to cut a piece of paper that's 12 inches long and it is 4 inches wide. Okay, now mine is 3.5 inches wide because my page that I'm creating is a little bit smaller. But you want yours to be 4 inches wide by 12 inches long. Okay, I'll say it one more time. 4 inches wide by 12 inches long. Now, before you start creating, make sure 4 inches fits between your two folds like this. Okay, make sure it fits. Hold your sides up and make sure 4 inches fit inside here. Okay, if not, then cut it down to 3.5. Okay, so inside here, you're going to fold down 2 inches. The top of your page, you're going to fold down the first 2 inches. Now I'm going to hold this up so you can, actually I'm going to lay it down here for you and let you take a screenshot. Okay, of what you need to do. This is 3.5 inches wide. It's 12 inches long. You're going to fold down 2 inches. You're going to fold up the bottom 4 inches. Okay, you got your screenshot? Now I'm going to let you take a screenshot of this envelope pattern also, because you're going to need this. This is the envelope pattern that you're going to need. Here's the envelope pattern. You can take a screenshot of that. And let's see. There are the measurements. Right there. Okay. So I've glued down my top part. I have folded this up. Now, you need to make sure this is straight, and you need to make sure that this is a very tight fold. And if it's not straight, now's the time to straighten it. As you can see, mine is not straight. Mine's never straight. So that does not surprise me. So I'm going to straighten mine up. But sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can start out with, with something perfectly straight and then fold it and fold it and fold it, and it throws it off kilter. Okay, and I can see this side is wampadoodled. So we are going to straighten this side up because I can see the top is a little bit crooked. I can see it right there. It tore my paper. Darn it. All right, let's try doing it this way. There. All right. Okay. Now, in here, okay, so that's going to pull down. Let's get this off so you can see what I'm doing really well. In here, this needs to be covered. Okay. Let me get that paper trimmer over there. Your inside needs covered. Okay. See how I've covered the inside? You need to cover it. Now, you also need to make another flip that goes here. Now, this is the little piece that I cut off that envelope. See, right there. So you need to make another little flip to go on the bottom. So let's create that little flip real quick. It is 2.5 inches tall by 3¼ inches long. And we have to leave our flip on it. And I will do that, but I want to cover this first. So let's go on and get our inside covered. So let's move that over there. That's our piece. Now, my paper that I've been working on here, my 2 sheets, are directional. So let's see if I have any scraps here that are big enough to cover that. Oh, this piece might work. This is a piece here. It might work. Ah, that piece will work. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it's not quite as wet as that other one. I mean, it's wet, but it doesn't quite soak my page. Okay. And that way I can let this oh wait, I don't want to do it yet. Okay, hold on, I don't want to cover it yet. So I'm just going to let this dry. I'm just going to let that dry because I want to create my little flip first. So I forgot about, I don't have my flip yet. So I'm going to just pull out an envelope. And I'm going to cut off the bottom. So I'm cutting off the bottom 2.5 inches. Okay? Just like that. That's the bottom 2.5 inches of an envelope. And I know I'll be able to use it, the rest of the envelope. And I'm just going to straighten that up. There we go. And let's see here. What if that I was going to use? Okay, I'll just cover this piece of envelope right. Let's see, this is directional paper. Let me lay this here so I know I'm not cutting into anything. Okay. Or maybe I'll use this piece up here. I'll use this little piece up here. Okay, so on your envelope, though, you need to cover front and back because it's going to flip back and forth. Now, you don't have to cover your little flip part. Okay. Here's that piece. Oops, I need to scoot it over. Okay. Now, where's this piece going to sit? This piece is going to sit here. But we want to trim this so I know. There we go. That's what we need to save. Okay. Okay, so now we need to cover the back of it. Okay, now, if your paper's directional, make sure you're paying attention to your direction. Okay, now you don't have to use an envelope if you don't want to. You can create a little pocket if you choose to. That's fine. You can do that. I just like using the bottoms of envelopes. They're just quick and easy and okay, there's that piece. Now, this will get inked around. Here's that piece. And see, I can ink that up real good and make it look a little scruffy. And here's that piece. Good deal. Oh, here we can tear this a little bit, I think. Oh, yeah, this is going to look good. Okay. Now, the reason I didn't want to put this down first was I want to put that behind it so that it's hidden inside the papers. Okay, so now I need to glue my envelope closed. Right here, I need to glue this part closed. Like that. Just like that. Now I can do my inking. And I will show you what I'm talking about. But let me do my inking here. Okay, so now I'm going to ink my pockets. Oops, I forgot to trim the sides. Gosh, guys, you didn't holler out and say, you forgot to trim the sides. That's better. Actually, I think I got into the envelope. Oopsie doodles. Oh, well. If we did, I'll know soon enough, won't I? I put something in it that falls back out. Okay, so I'm going to scruff this up here. Yeah, give it a little schmucky look. Let's go to this side. Let's give this a little schmucky look. Oh, yeah, there we go. There, that's it. I think I need a new I think because it's kind of shredding on me. You know, these new ones I got, they shred really fast, you guys. Do you guys have that problem with these little thick foamy ones that look like that? Do you have that problem that they shred really fast on you? Or am I just really rough on them? Okay. So here's what I want to do with this before I glue down. So I want my paper to go like this. Okay. Oh, let me put this up. So I want my paper to cover like this. And I want this little flap to go on the inside. So I'm going to decide, you know, where I want my paper. And I want this blue because, you know, I have blue everywhere. So I got to decide where I'm going here. So I need to get this up here like that, and that's going to get trimmed off. And then this stuff is all coming down here. Okay, so my flap, I want to glue back here. Okay, but I had to figure out where everything was going first so I could trim it like this. Because you're gonna glue your flap. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Your flap is gonna go in between your two pieces of paper. Your flap is gonna go in here like this, so that it's hidden. Let me go on and cut this piece off. Okay, that's where your flap is going. It's going right there. So when I glue this paper down, this flap is already attached. And it will get glued down also. See, it's attached back here. So now I can put my glue back here. Now don't get it on your pocket, but you want to make sure that you get it on your flap. And I'm going to make sure you guys can see this. That's why I switched over to the wet glue, or to this from my tacky glue, because the tacky glue is a little bit too wet for this. And now that little flap is hidden. Just like that. Now, make sure it's lined up. There. See, now you don't see it. And it just makes your page look a little bit neater. There, just like that. Now, don't fold it yet. Don't fold it. Don't try to do any more trimming. Let it dry, okay? But now you've got that little flip pocket, okay? And that's okay, because we still have this pocket to do. This little pocket's going to go right here. Okay, that's the envelope. That's this little envelope that I told you to take a screenshot of. Okay, that's this little envelope. So after you fold everything up, so it's going to look like this when you cut it out. Okay, so you fold up your bottoms. Make sure you cut out that little edge right there. One bottom goes in. Then you fold it over. Make sure that it's straight. Make sure you fold straight. Okay. This side comes around back, and you can cut this one at an angle also, so they match like that. And then if you see, I need to trim that right there. Now up here, you're going to fold this down, but you don't want it flat against this paper right here. You don't want to fold it so it's flat against that paper. You want to fold it so there's a little bit of a gap. And here, I'll show you. You want a little bit of a gap. See that little bit of a gap right here between that and the paper? Right there. There's my fold. And there's the top of the paper. Okay. That allows this to fold in and not get hung up. Okay. Now, unfold it, and you can glue it all back together. Don't glue this. Okay. This will act as a gusset on the inside. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to run glue up this side like that. You're going to fold that up. You're going to turn that over, and you're going to glue up your side. You're going to turn it around. And you're going to glue the back. Just like that. Now, you can use this same pattern to look like a seed envelope if you want. It actually is a little seed envelope pattern. And you can also add a little divot here. And I use my little bitty punch for this. I just put a little one right there. And then I take whatever's left on here. I just take whatever's left. That's all I'm doing. Just going around the top of that. That's all I want. Now, if you're doing like a vintage or something like that, I would probably go like this. Or garden. That's what I would do. You know, kind of make it look a little grungy journal. That's what I would do. Now up here, you can cover that if you don't like the white. You can take any of your scraps that you have. Like I have this nice little scrap here. I could take that and cover that. Add some color. Or I could take my little stamp scraps. But I'm going to leave this one white. Now, make sure that closes really well. And I'm going to put a little closure there. But I think I'm good. I might use a button. Or I might use... I think my little clusters here are too big. We might make some little clusters here when we start decorating. But we're not going to decorate right now. All right. So this is going to sit right here. Okay. So we're going to put this right here. You know what? I think we're going to try and fold this up first. Let's do that. That way we're not flopping things around. Okay. Let's take your bone folder. And you need to fold this all the way up to here. You don't want it underneath there. You want to give it some space. And you need to come all the way over. There we go. See, I can see a spot where I need to trim right there. Where the paper that I covered it with was a little bit too wide. So if you need to do that, now's the time to do it. So I'm going to go on and trim that off. And also at the top, I still need to trim that off. Okay. Now, make sure I got this in the right spot. Okay. Oh, that's better. That's better. Okay, so any trimming you need to do of your papers, after you get it covered, now's the time to do it before we put our closure on. And before we get it attached into the book. Okay, right there. Yeah, that closes much better. Oh, much better. Much better. Now, I want my corners rounded up here. I like rounded corners for closures. So, I'm going to round my corners for my closures. Just like that. Now, for this closure up here, because this is an interactive page, let me show you how I'm going to do that. Hold on just a second here. Okay. All right, so for this, I'm going to use one of my little Velcro dots. And to use a Velcro dot, oh my gosh, you guys, look at the time. I can't believe I've kept you this long. You put one dot here on one page. Now they're both stuck together. And then you bring it down and you squish it closed. It's that simple. Okay? Now, if your dots, don't have a lot of stickum, then you can glue it. Okay, so we're going to open that up. We're going to open this up. We're going to very quickly stick down our envelope. And then in part 3, we're going to come back and finish this. But let's get our little envelope on here. And then we'll come back in part 3 and we'll do our closures. We'll do our decorating and we'll get the rest of this all put together. Okay? Okay, so I'm giving you lots of fun stuff to do to get this all put together and to have some fun. And I hope you've had a good time and you're creating along with me. Okay, there's our little flip. And then down here is going to be something else. I love little interactive pages like this. And then this is going to get put down here. And it's also going to have a little flip on it. Oop, I think I made that little pocket too wide. Nope. No, I didn't. Okay, good. And then we still have our backs to cover and add those. So we still have 1, maybe 2 more to do. Okay. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, I just love these types of pages. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you've had fun today. And I want to thank you for joining me and for, coming to play along and create with me. I hope you've had a fun time with your family and with your friends. And I hope you come back and join me and create some more. There are those pockets. Now we have more pockets over here. Don't forget those little pockets. We have pockets everywhere, guys. And I hope you come back and join me and create with me some more and have some more fun. And I want to thank you for joining me here at the Ladybug Journals. And I do want to encourage you to come back and play and create with me and finish up this little fun creative page and see where we go from here. So, for all of you that have left me such fun and questions and comments, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Those have been really fun to read and answer. And And I will see you soon. And until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.